今日は何曜日？日曜日。Today is May 18th, 2025 here in Pacifica, California. 12 miles south of San Francisco. It's like 52 to 58. That is 10 to 18 degrees Celsius. Oh boy. All right, so I'm going to be talking about two things today. The questions you should ask when you are purchasing Medaka from a breeder. I get a lot of questions asked saying, like, do you sell Medakas and all that? I was like, man, the lineage that I'm working on, I'm not happy with, so I don't have any babies to sell. And then the next question is, so who should I go to? Well, who should you go to? I don't know, because I've never purchased from a breeder over here in the U.S., but there are some questions that you should ask. And by asking these questions, you'll know, like, who your go-to breeder is going to be. By the way, I just got back from Knicks, man. Awesome time. Maybe I had too many brewskis and some wine, but the Metal Medaka today, man, I picked this up 2 weeks ago in Ibanez 1986 Roadster RG442. All original, man. This was, if you look at it in person, man, it's like pearl white, but it yellowed up from all the nicotine and all that smoke and all that stuff, and it aged so perfect. HSS, this is an awesome guitar. So, going back to the topic. So, the questions that you should ask a breeder when you're purchasing. Let me just take a real quick sip. The best beer of the day is the one that I am having with you. By the way, the beer is possible because of Hugh, Nico Fish son, Fireharp son, Rocky's Garage son, Nicola son, N8 son, Lauren Marshall son, and Mr. Andy Yo son. Domo arigato. Oh boy. Let me just take a real quick sip. Alright, it's a 10-gallon that I set up about a week and a half ago. I have my Red Cliffs in here. And these are my breeder babies. Up top, I have the Metal Riffs, what I call them. They're basically my babies from the Red Cliff / or times the Midnight Frill. You have different variations, the black and the yellow, which I call Striper. You have the more platinum body with the yellow head. You can't see from the side, but they're freaking awesome. And then my babies that look like the Midnight Frills. So these are all in 5-gallon Aqueon aquariums. And alright, so let me just take another real quick sip and get back to the topic. Gotta thank all you Medaka Head members, man. So Cameron Kilmer son, Mr. Ten son, Christian Aquino son, Oli the Pufferfish son, and is Mushy son. There's more. But let me get to the topic. So, questions you should ask when you are looking for Medakas. A breeder, a reputable breeder. Let me just sit down. I can't stop glancing at my baby over here, the Ibanez 86. How many of you were born back in 86, man? It's freaking awesome. Oh boy. Alright, so when you're looking for Medaka, there are a couple questions that you should ask. And based on the answers, you get to kind of gauge the quality of the Medakas, right? So the first question that I would ask is the lineage. Like, how long have you had this lineage? Where did the lineage come from? Just because you want to know the sources, right? Where the origins. Because once you get Medakas, man, you're going to be producing a bunch of babies, and you want to be able to answer those same questions. So if somebody asks you, like, where did you get these parents from? You want to be able to answer where these parents originated from. Why is that important? Because you want to know the bloodline, right? So number 2, the age. How old are these babies that I'm purchasing? You want to buy them when they are about 3 to 6 months of age. Anything before that is too premature. Everything after that, you're really not going to have a timeline where they are going to breed. After 8 months, they're at their old stage. So getting juveniles that are in between 3 to 6 months of age, that is when they are most productive as far as reproduction. Number 3. Man, I hate reading these things because it sounds like I'm reading something, but sorry, I'm reading a list because I wrote down some of the, number 1, lineage. Number 2, the age, right? Number 3, the environment that you have been keeping these babies. Why is that important? Because, like these babies that I have over here, if somebody said, like, man, I will buy these babies, and let's say I had them available, but they're like, man, I'm going to keep them outdoors. I'm like, no, these babies are not going to survive outdoors because they are not used to temperature fluctuations. Outdoors is a different, it's a different society compared to keeping them indoors. Indoors, you don't have the temperature fluctuation. Outdoors, you have the wind, you have the rain. The water parameters change on a rapid basis. The morning it's cold. Daytime it gets really hot. These babies will not survive. So you want to know, like, if you purchase, let's say you purchase these babies and they're like, man, I'm just going to leave them outdoors in a tub. They're not going to last. They're going to die off after a week. So you want to know how they have been kept. If you want to keep Medakas indoors and you're purchasing from a breeder that keeps all the Medakas outdoors in the natural sun, the weather environments, man, in reverse, they're not going to do well indoors. They need the sun, natural sun, and these babies are not used to not having the sun. So you want to know how they are kept. Next one. What do they feed? What is their diet? Well, you want to know because Medakas, they're pretty picky on what they eat. And there's certain things that Medakas eat. There are certain foods or types of foods that Medakas that you bring in will not eat. So you kind of want to know what they have been feeding their babies. And on the last note, man, I hate reading this stuff because I sound like I'm like reading off of a teleprompter. But yes, let me just take a real quick sip. This beer goes out to Mr. Goldenarm son, Jacob Hartley son, Phil Cam son, OK Razorback son, and Icky's Aquatic son, Lindsay's Tank son, and the long buddy. Oh boy, Foxsucker son, domo arigato. Oh boy. And the last question you want to ask is basically the feeding schedule. Why is the feeding schedule so important? So medakas, man, they are stomakless fish. What does that mean? They don't have a stomach. They don't store energy. They don't store food. What they consume comes out within 90 minutes. If the lineage that you have is used to eating all day because you're at home and you're feeding little niblets every 4 hours, they're used to getting fed every 4 hours. So that's about 3 times a day. Now, if you're like me, you work outdoors, meaning you don't work from home. You go to an office or outside of home. You could probably feed them in the morning or you could feed them at night. So that's 2 times max. If you're the type that leaves super early in the morning, it's too cold, it's too dark. So you only feed them once a day when you get home. They adapt very well. But if you're getting medakas that have adapted to eating 2 times a day, 3 times a day, 5 times a day, sporadically, and all of a sudden they come to your home and they are only able to eat once a day, they're not going to do well. So you really, 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 really need to know what they're used to. When you are ordering online, they come from multiple destinations, right? Different climates. Different climates plus different water parameters. Water parameters changed based on the municipal differences, based on the state's regulations, the county's regulations. Medakas are super adaptable, but it takes time for them to adapt. So if you fly in medakas from Florida, per se, to California, the water parameters are completely different. So you want to know all these parameter differences, feeding regiments, what type of environment they live in, indoors, outdoors. And you really want to know the lineage, where they originated from, to better understand what you're getting. And a lot of people, they're like, they're just freaking medakas. They're tiny, tiny, tiny medakas. But the thing is, the beauty of the medakas is, like, I think a lot of people get into the medakas because you want to reproduce, right? The next generation. You want to produce your G1, G2, G3, G4 so that you could enjoy them. As in, I don't like the way I'm talking today. I don't even know why I'm talking like this. But I probably had a bad wine, I don't know, for lunch. Nix, but oh boy, let me just take a real quick sip. In my head, I'm like, I don't think I'm getting to the point that I want to get to. But the point is, when you buy medakas from somebody, ask these simple questions: lineage, environment, age, feeding schedule, and diet. You want to have all this information before you bring the medakas in. You want to find a breeder that is able to tell you all these things. So if you have a breeder that basically says, oh man, like, yeah, some are outside, some are indoors, but like when I'm like the ones that I'm buying, like, where's it? Is it from indoors or outdoors? You want to know. Okay. Because they'll tell you, medaka is grown indoors. If you suddenly bring them out or outdoors, they're going to die. Vice versa. outdoors, you bring them indoors, they're going to die if you don't do it right. The feeding schedule. All of a sudden, they're used to eating like 5 different servings or 3 different servings per day. And all of a sudden, they're left to 1. They're not going to do well. The water parameters. Yeah, you slowly acclimate them, but they were built to be strong and thrive based on where they are from. So, just be aware. Just be careful. There's a lot of beautiful, beautiful Medakas out there here in the U.S. now, if you're in the USA. United States of America, man, beautiful place, man, love it. Oh boy. But just ask those questions. And if you come across a breeder that can answer all those questions, and you may come across a breeder that may say, man, I cannot sell you my Medakas because it's not going to do well where you live. That's a good thing, because that breeder knows who or what he or she has in their collection. Right? As a enthusiast, like as a Medaka head, man, you want people to enjoy the Medaka. If I do pass on some of these babies, I want to make sure that their babies live on, right? Well past like what I'm doing, because I want to pass on these MedakaMetal bloodlines and all that stuff, and I want to make sure that they're healthy. I want to make sure that their babies are going to be healthy. So it's not about just selling and saying goodbye. It's about passing it on to you, the Medaka head, and making sure that you guys, when I say guys, it's like you boys and girls, man, you are able to enjoy from getting babies from them and passing on the good genes to another new Medaka head that will be out there 10, 20, 30 years from now. So, oh boy. All right, enough of me. I think I rambled. What am I feeding my Medakas nowadays? It's just like a mix. So, I was selling these Gex Ayahime last year. This is like an OG brand, Suyen. I think I picked this up like 5 years ago. It said it expired, but it doesn't really matter for me. And the best food is actually, I have a bunch of others, right? Like, all right, I'm just a bunch of other stuff. The best food is mixing them up, because every Medaka, like, you like beef, you like pork, you like chicken, you like pasta, you like, I don't know, you like different tastes, you know. Everybody has a different palate on their tongue. Medakas do as well. So certain foods, certain Medakas will not like. So what I do is I mix them up. And now they have a variety. With the variety, I know that all the Medakas that I have will be satisfied somehow, some way, with what they like. So, I don't know. That's what I have, basically. I have others over here. I use a lot of, but they're all mixed. But the Medakas can't eat one thing. You can't eat the same thing every day. So you give them like different varieties and all that stuff, and it does the body good, it does the mind good, it does the mental health good. So All right, domo arigato, all you Medaka heads out there. If you want to become a member, just hit the join button on YouTube. What do you get? You get the ugly sticker. Here's sticker number 1. I just waiting to receive the sticker number 2, which is more like tropical base. You get that. I do randomly do members only uploads, super short, and I do raffles as well. When I do raffles, it'll be like stuff that you can't buy over here in the U.S. It'll be like food, or it could be containers. I don't have a container with me right now, but it'll be container. It'll be something Medaka related, and it's a raffle system. So enough of me. 20 minutes in, I think I rambled enough. But domo arigato. We'll do it next time. If you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram at MedakaMetal. Domo arigato for all your support. And we'll do it again next time. Oh boy. Alright, I'm going to take a real quick sip. The best read of the day goes out to all you Medaka Head supporters out there. Domo arigato. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you. All right. Outs.